Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a full face of nothing new, my favorite series to film, and we're gonna create something with Valentine's Day in mind. I don't know what it is about this year, but I'm like thrilled for Valentine's Day. I've still got my Valentine's nails on, and so I want to do something with pinks. I was on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure this was actually from last week or so. Oh, no, it was just a few days ago. Anyway, Katie Jane Hughes, one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram, created this pink and red look, and I really wanted to try it. You guys know how much I love my pink eyeshadows, but I've never really tried to do it with a red lip, and I feel like that's something a little bit different. So I'm gonna be trying it with a red lip, but I also have another lip option in case you want something a little bit more neutral and muted. So that's the inspiration. I will have her post from Instagram linked down below so that you can kind of get a closer look. But we're gonna get right into it. I think I'm gonna start with eyes. Even though it's not too much on the eyes, I'm gonna prime with my NARS tinted smudge-proof eyeshadow base in the shade Light. This has been my favorite eyeshadow primer for so long. I'm just blending that out toward the end of the brow, all over the lid. I forgot, I'm gonna clip my hair back as well. But I love filming these full face of nothing new videos because I feel like it gives me a chance not only to like reach back into my existing collection, which you guys know I love to do, but the goal is too for you guys watching to be able to just be inspired by the colors more than like a new product, if that makes sense. So that's also one of the reasons why I love following Katie Jane Hughes on Instagram, is because I feel like she doesn't make you feel like you have to have a certain product to achieve the look. So as I was choosing products, I don't even remember what products she used. I just kind of went and found a pink eyeshadow, a red lipstick, and you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna get the same effect. It doesn't really matter what type of products you use. But I found this palette, which I think will be as close to the eyeshadow she used. This is from Fenty Beauty. This is their Snap Shadows in the shade 4, and this matte pink shade really seemed like one that would work well for this look. So I'm just gonna take this on a brush, and I'm gonna start just packing this onto the lid. I'm trying to keep most of the pigment down toward the lashes, and then once there's less product on the brush, I'm just kind of buffing it up. After applying this, I do feel like I need to layer something a little bit deeper on top, but I still think this will work as a great base for what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm just buffing that with the brush again, blending out toward the end of the brow. Okay, yeah, I do want something a little bit more pink. I think I'm just gonna take the blush that I'm gonna use. This is from Patrick Ta. It's the cream and powder duo in the pink shade, which is called She's That Girl. I'm gonna take the powder blush color and just see if I can kind of intensify a little bit more that pink tone on the lid. And I'm looking at the picture for reference, and it seems like she kind of dragged the eyeshadow up a little bit more. And then she has a little bit of a shimmer shade kind of highlighting that inner crease. So I found this palette that's also Fenty Beauty. This is their number 8 palette, Pastel Frost. And this pink shade seemed like something that would be similar to what she had going on in the inner crease. So I'm just gonna take that on an angled brush, and I'm just gonna start kind of pressing that into this inner corner first, and then sweeping it through the inner crease. Overall, I feel like it's a pretty simple eye look, which I really like, especially because if you're going to do a red lip, it's nice to kind of have that balance of something a little softer on the lids, but you still get those pink tones, which I think is really nice. Okay, I'm gonna leave the eyes there for now. We're gonna move to complexion. I might bounce around a little bit for this. For primer, I wanted to use the Flower Beauty Supernova Celestial Priming Whip, which is such a fun product to use. Aww! I feel like I always put too much on my hand, but hopefully that'll be okay for today. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my fingers to massage this into the complexion. I love the glow that this gives, and when it dries down, it has that nice kind of tacky finish, which really helps grip makeup. So I'm just gonna kind of pat this down. It's starting to absorb into the skin. For foundation, I found this in my foundation drawer, and I really wanted to use it again. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Mine is in the shade 420. I applied one pump to the back of my hand. I'm just taking that on my, what is this? Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH03 brush. I've been really into this for foundation recently. And I'm just gonna start to even out the skin tone with this foundation. All right, I'm just pressing that into the complexion with my Equal Tools biodegradable sponge. I've been really loving this as well. I'm actually excited to wear a red lip. I feel like in the past, a lot of my Valentine's tutorials have had more of like a natural nude lip, because for me personally, when it came to Valentine's Day, we usually would go out to dinner, but this year we're planning on doing a really fun dinner at home, which I'm so excited about actually. We're just gonna cook together and have like a candlelit dinner. For some reason, I'm all about like tablescapes right now. I think I mentioned this in another video, but like I've been buying so many kitchen things like platters and serveware, and plates and things like that, because there's just something about setting a table, lighting candles, making it feel special, and making a homemade meal that I am like all about right now. And normally with food, like I don't love to wear red lipstick because it's just another thing to think about, but I feel like since we're gonna be at home, I don't have a problem like wearing red lipstick through the day, and then maybe right before dinner I can always blot it off. So I really do feel like I'm gonna wear these tones. I might try to do a red lipstick this year, which again, normally I'm such like a nude lip girl, but might try to switch things up. Okay, for concealer, I'm gonna take my Rare Beauty concealer in the shade 130N, and I'm just gonna dot a little bit right here in this inner portion, and then a bit right here. And then I'm just gonna take a brush and start dragging that down underneath the eyes and then blending it out on the side here. And I'm gonna use the concealer to kind of sharpen up that shape on the edge of the eye. I'm taking what's left and kind of applying it right here to just brighten up this area a little bit. Once the brush has kind of distributed the concealer as much as I want it to, I'm going back in with my sponge to really make sure that that's pressed into the complexion so it looks as natural as possible. I want to know what your guys' inspiration is for Valentine's Day this year. Are you going to be putting on makeup? Are you going to be chilling at home in sweatpants? I want to know the vibe. I feel like for me, it's all of the above. I feel like I'll spend part of the day in sweatpants, maybe toward dinner, do a little bit of makeup, because I think it'll be fun to kind of feel somewhat put together, and I think it'll be fun to do my makeup with Valentine's Day in mind. Concealer is blended in. Next, I'm going to take the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 100, and I'm going to start using this to warm up the complexion. I feel like I'm trying to channel my inner Katie Jane Hughes and not powder the entire face. I'll definitely use powder in the T-zone. For me personally though, I feel like if I am planning on wearing my makeup for hours, like if I'm going to do my makeup earlier in the day and not remove it till later, I definitely think that setting the face with powder for me really helps with longevity, especially if you're wearing a mask. But if you're just going to be chilling at home, I feel like you might not need as much powder and it'll keep things looking really nice and fresh. I'm just going to go back over the edges with my sponge just to kind of blend that into the complexion a little more. I feel like I need to finish the eyes, so I am going to take a little bit of my powder. This is the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. It's so finely milled. It barely looks like anything on the face. It truly is undetectable. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of that from the cap. I'm tapping off the extra, and then I'm just going to sweep this underneath the eyes to set. I'm also going to bring that down onto the chin and a bit onto the forehead as well. In the photo, I'm not seeing any sort of sign of eyeshadow on the lower lashes. Most of it's focused on the top, like the mascara included. So I'm just going to go in with my L'Oreal Bambi Eye Mascara, and I'm going to really layer that up on the top lashes and maybe just do a tiny amount on the lower lashes. I feel like I'm making a mess, so I'm looking down into the mirror to try to avoid as much mascara on the eyelid as possible. I'm also focusing this on the outer corner the most to kind of give it more of a winged out effect with just the mascara. I'm applying the teensiest, tiniest amount to the lower lashes. I'm just brushing up the brows using the same pencil that I had already used. I filled in my brows off camera with this Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. Today I used the shade 3.5, so it's just a little bit lighter and a little bit softer than shade 4, which is what I usually use. I just thought it would complement the soft eye look and kind of keep the focus more on the red lip. Okay, I feel like this look is pretty simple so far, but I'm all about that. I think it's great to have something that's a little bit softer and simple, and I feel like sometimes, especially when I'm filming tutorials, I always feel like I need to do a really extravagant eyeshadow look if I do use eyeshadow. So the fact that that was literally like one shadow basically all over the lid was really nice. I'm gonna go back into the blush that I had used on the eyes earlier. Again, this is Patrick Ta, and I'm applying this kind of more toward the outer portion of the face. It looks like she has the blush coming up a little bit higher than what I normally do, and I'm connecting it to the end of the eyeshadow too, so it kind of looks like one seamless situation. I think that looks really nice. I'm gonna go in with the cream shade on the top, just with the bottom of my sponge. I love this cream formula. I think it's amazing. And it blends beautifully over top of the powder. So I'm just gonna layer that right on top to kind of give the skin a little bit more of a freshness. I'm flipping the sponge over and just going around the edges to make sure it's not too intense. And now let's go in with highlight. Where did I put that highlight? You know, it really baffles me how I lose things. Oh, here it is. we're using this again. I just recently used this in a video and I haven't really put it down. I feel like I do this a lot, and that's one of the things that I love about reusing products is it really does allow me to fall in love with old products all over again. This is the ColourPop Super Shock highlight in the shade Lunch Money. It's incredible. I took that on my finger and I'm just gonna use my hands to kind of press this onto the high points of the face. And I'm really kind of wanting it to melt into the cream blush because then it'll give you like a glowy pink blush kind of a look, which I really like. This is such a stunning highlighter. Go down the center of the nose with this. And I am going to take it and just kind of press a little bit on the inner corner of the eye. Okay, I'm just kind of wiping off any foundation that got on the lips. And first, we're going to do the Nude Lip Combo. I tried this on before filming. I was swatching so many different lip colors on my hand. I feel like my hand and my wrist are kind of stained. But I found this combo and I'm really excited about it. So first, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. It's like a little bit of a mauvey pink shade. So I'm just lining and filling the lips with this, and I think it's just such a pretty color. Then I'm going to top that off with the ColourPop Luxe Velvet lipstick in the shade Keep It Coy, which I think these layered together are absolutely beautiful. And with this formula, I like to apply it and then take my finger and just blend the colors in that way. And that just helps create that blurred lip effect. I think that combo is so beautiful. Before I forget, I'm just brushing off any mascara marks on the lid. Okay, so that's lip combo number 1. I'm adding a bit more bronzer because after you put lipstick on, I feel like you really can figure out what else you need to add if you do need to add anything. So I'm just kind of adding some bronzer to balance things out. So that's the first look. Very soft, very simple. I really, really like this. But of course, we're here to try the red lip combo with the pink eyes. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to take this Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Crazy in Love. And I'm just going to start mapping out the shape of my lips with this. And I'm going to take my Armani Lip Maestro liquid lipstick and I'm just going to start dotting this onto the lips and then using my finger to blend it in. And I remember something that Katie Jane Hughes said in her story tutorial of this look. When picking a red, depending on what pink shade you apply to the eyes, you want to make sure it's a different intensity. So if you do a bright pink on the eyes, you don't want to do a bright red on the lips. You want to kind of vary the intensity. So that's why I chose this red. It's a little bit deeper. I do think I'm going to layer in a little bit of a brighter red. I think this is the shade 200. The sticker fell off, so I don't know exactly, but I just want a tiny bit of something brighter right in the very center. And then again, I'm just taking my finger and making sure it's blended. Okay, while that sets for a second, I'm just going to sharpen my lip liner and I'm going to go in and try to perfect these lines a little bit. I almost feel like a brush will be better at this. All right, so I'm taking a smaller lip brush and just taking my time going around the edges to make sure they're as smooth as possible. I forget how tedious red lips are, but I also feel like it's worth the extra effort. So with a red lip, I always feel like after I apply it, I could use a little more blush, which with the pink lip, I felt like the blush really showed up. But I'm just gonna go back into my Patrick Ta and just add a bit more of this blush all over the cheeks. I'm of course then going to take my sponge again and just make sure everything is blended around the edges. Okay, we are reassessing the situation again after applying this lip and adding even more bronzer just to make sure things are balanced out again after applying a deeper lip color. And now I'm going to go ahead and set the face. I'm going to use my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I've been really into this all over again. I'm just going to spray the whole face. And once it kind of dries down, that's when I go back in with my sponge to really perfect the skin and make sure everything looks super natural. Super natural, not supernatural. And then I'm going to go into my Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder in the shade Fair and just kind of smooth and touch up the T-zone one more time with something that has a bit more coverage. Sometimes I like to do this at the very end of the makeup look just so that I'm not overdoing the extra coverage. But I do feel like it really helps kind of smooth and brighten if I need to in the T-zone. Last but not least, I'm going to set the brows with my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. I feel like brow gel for me really does complete the look. Everything always feels a little bit unfinished, and then I apply brow gel and it's like, oh yeah, it all makes sense again. I'm taking the brush we used with foundation and just kind of pressing right here to make sure the blush didn't go too far down on my face. Alright, so that completes this makeup look. We finished off with a red lip, and I really do love the combination. It's not something that I've personally done often. I don't think I've ever actually done a proper red lip with pinks. I've done like hot pinks or a darker or brighter lipstick in the pink family, but not quite like a red with pink eyeshadow. So I really like it. I feel like it is something that's a little bit different, but still very wearable. So I'm really glad that I tried this out. I would love to know in the comments if you guys preferred the red lip or the more mauvey pink lip. I honestly feel like you can't go wrong with either if you are going to recreate this look, but the pink and red is kind of fun. Like, why not try something new? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you have an amazing Valentine's Day. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is when I upload. I always upload 3 days a week. You can click on the notification bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post, so you won't miss any of my 3 videos every week. Thanks again for watching today's video. I enjoyed trying something new. I hope you enjoyed watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye!